craft beer market sales are expected to reach more than $502 trillion by 2025. There are now more than 5,200 local breweries operating in the U.S. alone. Hong Kong is following the craft beer trend with around 20 local craft breweries currently in business. Jennifer Chan explores the challenges microbreweries here are facing. On this sizzling afternoon, Devin is shuffling around his brewing factory in Wan Chai.
Sorry we're not brewing today. I may have some of these guys working on the weekends because we need the beer.
Devin acquired this brewery 3 years ago. Initially, he produced 4,000 liters per month. Now the brewery is churning out some 28,000 liters a month.
And a lot more people want craft beer now. We've seen tremendous growth. And there's a lot more brands. There's a lot more competition just even in that beer space.
Devin's brewery is one of about 20 local craft beer brands in Hong Kong. He says 4 years ago, there were only 1 or 2 local craft brands. While mass market canned and bottled beers for restaurants and homes, craft breweries focus on a smaller quantity but higher quality. They tend to also offer a wide variety of flavors using premium ingredients.
Our beer, we use all malt in making it, which is unusual. And the big brewers, what they tend to do is make beer at 15% alcohol, and then they add water because that makes the production process more efficient. We make it one batch a day. Big brewers, they're continually running through. It takes a lot more tanks.
Today, his brews go to some 56 F&B outlets and 14 retail points in town, among them hotels and member clubs, mainly in the form of bottles and kegs. A keg is a beer barrel that is used to transport beer into beer taps. Beer out of a tap is what is known as draft beer. Most microbreweries prefer selling beer in kegs over bottles simply because kegs are cost-effective.
Kegs, they're returnable, recyclable, they're easy to fill, they're a convenient package, cheap.
Generally speaking, a 30-liter keg costs $500 to $600. They can be sold to clients at $1,000 to $1,500. Meanwhile, a 330-milliliter beer bottle costs $2 to $3 and can be sold at $25 to $30. But bottles can only be used once.
Most craft breweries are built on draft because a good bottling line can cost almost as much as our brew house here.
Apart from lower production cost, bar taps are preferable to beer manufacturers because draft beer is more sought after on trade, as customers perceive draft is fresher. But Devin is struggling to get his brews into beer taps. Most taps are occupied by mass market production beer giants via exclusive contracts.
It's hard here because the big guys own the taps. So they come into the bars, particularly the popular bars, and they say, we'll give you $1 million a year, but you have to buy our beer exclusively. So it locks the little guys out.
This bar in Lang Kwai Fong, for instance, had an exclusive contract with a mass market brand. Richard, the owner, says he's willing to put craft beer on his taps, but he has other reasons for not doing it.
I think it is an excuse to say that we're not in this bar because they have an exclusive contract, because everybody wants to be in the draft beer market. That's what pours easily and the most. The problem is, if I bring that in, I have to cancel another one. If you have 10 draft beers, you need at least 2 kegs. So to have 10 30-liter kegs under the bar, there's just no room for it for most bars in Hong Kong.
For example, this bar only supports a maximum of 4 taps. Another one of Richard's bars, on Shelley Street, can hold 6, and the storage can only fit up to 10 kegs.
I have a draft beer that my clients are buying, consuming every single day, and I have limited space. So the decision comes to, if I bring this one in, I have to actually take one out. And quite honestly, we're not getting enough of a demand on the client side to list them as a draft beer.
While some bars are taking the safe route, this one in Central chooses to diverge from the norm. Bar owner Thomas gave up a whopping $700,000 exclusive annual contract with a major brand 6 years ago, only to feed his desire to run an exclusively craft beer bar.
It's a lot of money. They almost pay for half of your rent. They provide the machine, they provide the cleaning, they provide the CO2, and everything breaks down. You just pick up the phone, they will come and fix it. But we need to jump out from the comfort zone, and we need to do something different with the other.
It's proven a smart move. With a total investment of around $2 million, the bar broke even within the first 2 years. His business is seeing a 20% growth in sales year on year.
We are sort of a destination to begin with. Every craft beer lover has to come here to enjoy the drinks.
With 24 taps that change on a weekly basis, draft beer amounts to 90% of Thomas's total business.
We normally finish a keg within a week. We have to keep on ordering every week, and then if one beer finishes, we'll put on another style of the beer.
A bar like this is good news to microbreweries, but international brewers still fill most glasses in Hong Kong. One local craft brewer chooses to depend on himself. Rohit has been running a brewery in Wong Chuk Hang since late 2013. 2 years ago, he teamed up with a bar manager, a beer equipment provider, and a brewer to set up the first craft beer-only bar in Mongkok, selling his own brews and other craft beer.
Partnering definitely helped. Three of us were all beer people doing a bar as opposed to, an F&B outlet doing craft beer bar. There's a different mindset to it, different kind of attention to detail to beer.
His shop in Mongkok makes $800,000 in sales per month. With an investment of $2 million, the bar broke even after just 1 year. The next year, they set up another location in Tai Hang. Now they are shouldering a monthly rental of $100,000 and $150,000 for the bars in Mongkok and Tai Hang, respectively.
To me, setting up a physical bar is not directly about Young Master. It is about craft beer as an industry. This was about education first and foremost.
Like many of his peers, Rohit used to produce only beer kegs. Half a year ago, he started to produce bottles in order to tap more retail points, including supermarkets. This retailer is embracing the artisanal drink with a newly designated zone for craft beer, carrying 150 items so far.
In terms of display, we have much more craft beer rather than the commercial beer. The sales of the Hong Kong craft beer is doing much better than the import one in our stores.
The supermarket is now selling 12,000 craft beer bottles per month, compared to just 9,000 from last year. Craft beer outperformed commercial beer on sales growth in 2016 with a 20% growth. Still, commercial beer continues to account for a bigger portion of its sales.
Because it's kind of the basic necessity, the sales for craft beer and to commercial beer, I think is like 40 to 60%.
The existing market conditions are not in craft beer brewers' favor, but there appears to be a silver lining.
It's a really tough business for them. They're competing against very, very well-established companies that I recommended for craft beer suppliers in Hong Kong. Build your brand by bottle. Try for new outlets for the first month on consignment. See how it goes and support it. And step by step, inch by inch, get a local following. That's the best way.
Thanks for watching Money Magazine. Have a great weekend. Good night.